How many of you would like to see the Great Wall of China? Maybe climb the Eiffel Tower or go skydiving? These things are typically on people's bucket lists. Another thing that's typically on people's bucket list is to run a race. And so since I've got some experience in the field, I thought I'd share with you some ways to train for a half marathon. Today I wanted to go over 3 different things with you: your level of training, your conditioning, and how to give your body the energy it needs to be able to do that level of training. Now, considering your level of training, there's your novice, your intermediate, and your advanced. These are the 3 things you're typically going to find. Now, depending on whether you've just recovered from an injury, this is your first half marathon, you're already an athlete, or you're really looking to improve upon yourself, that will help you determine the level of training that you will need. Novice being your easiest and your advanced being your most difficult level. Once you've determined this, you can go online and find hundreds of different roadmaps that will help guide you. They'll give you how many miles you need to run and how many days you need to run those certain miles. After you have that, print it out and go from that. Next, I want you to consider your conditioning, and this is conditioning beyond your running. There's 3 different things I want to go over. The first is your stretching. No matter the level of training that you decided on, everyone needs to stretch. You need to stretch before you run, after you run, and even during your run, especially on those long runs. I tend to get poor posture when I run for a long time, so I like to stretch my arms and my upper back so I'm not sore when I'm done. Stretching is key to preventing injury. The next thing I want to talk about when you're doing your conditioning is your strengthening. This is going to happen with your weight/resistant training. Now, a large percentage of runners get really weak knees or get sore knees. And so a great way to prevent that is to strengthen your quadriceps. Focusing on all your major leg muscles is very important when you want to strengthen them. But don't neglect the rest of your body. You really use your whole body, so strengthen all of it, but really focus on your legs. The last thing I want to talk about under conditioning is your cross training. Now, there are 2 different things that I recommend for cross training. That is swimming and biking. Both are far less invasive on your joints, and they help you with your endurance. So you can train for your half marathon without actually running all the time. So biking and swimming are great ways to cross train. The last thing I want to talk to you about is how to give your body the energy it needs to be able to train. Before you run, you're going to want to determine what time of day you're going to be running, and that will help you know how much to eat, whether you should eat at all. Now, on my really short runs that I do early in the morning, I don't tend to eat. But on my longer runs, I'm definitely going to want to grab something, maybe a bagel with peanut butter on it. That's great to do. Just don't eat a big meal before you go on your run. Now, after you run, you have a small window of about 30 to 45 minutes when your body really needs protein. So get your body some protein or you're going to crash. And it's no fun to crash. The rest of your day is kaput, and that's not very effective and doesn't make you really like training for your half marathon. Next is your nutrition and your energy that you'll need during your runs. Now, on my long runs, and I recommend for yours, you can get some sort of water. Now, I have this water belt. It's really nice. I just wear it around my waist like a belt, and I can keep myself hydrated. It also's got little pockets in it. I can put grapes or oranges or nuts in it to help fuel my run. That's great while you're training or if you want during race day. Now, another thing I want to talk about is when you're fueling your body is energy gels. I want to give a little bit of caution for them. They can be very effective. They're high in caffeine and sugar or both, and they give you a really good boost. But if you did not train with them, do not grab one on race day. You will be on the side of the road or in the bathroom. You really need to fuel your body for the race the same way that you train. So be consistent in that. The other thing you need for energy is rest. You need to sleep and you need to take rest days, or else you're more susceptible to getting sick and then you can't train well. I want to give you 3 final tips. Know your limits, fix your form, and know if you need new shoes. Now, shoes are typically good for about 300 to 500 miles. These shoes I would totally pick up at a secondhand store. They look great, they have great traction, but I've run hundreds and hundreds of miles. These would not be adequate enough for me to train for a half marathon. I hope these 3 tips, along with the other things that I've told you, can help you train for your next or your first half marathon.